Welcome Virgo, this is your August 3rd to August 9th forecast, and we have for you Mars entering Libra, which is going to be your biggest influence, and it's going to highlight your career and finances. So Mars invites Virgo to recalibrate your rhythms, so your work habits may need adjusting, adjust strategies as well for sustainable success, and shift from over precision to inspired flow. Let's see what else we have going on for Virgo this month. And I'm likely going to take these mostly upright unless I feel called to do, reverse. But we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, what else? The Lovers. And the Four of Swords. Okay. All right. So you are releasing some burdens here. You may have... So I feel like when I say the burdens, I feel like it's more about like just as an example, if you're in your working environment and it's difficult, the communication sometimes, I feel like you're just getting to the point where you're like, you know what, it's fine. I'll just, it's confusing communication, or is there a lot of conflicting things going on? So you know what, just forget it. I'm going to take what I can out of it and just let it go and just move on. So I feel like you're kind of like just at that place where it's like you're tired of, like trying to make suggestions or trying to move things in a particular direction that you feel is for the betterment of everyone, for all. And you just may be at that point where you're like, okay, you know what? If you want it done this way, if you're going to communicate things in a very confusing way where you're getting a bunch of questions back or we're just not sure how to move forward, then that's fine. I'll do it that way. And because that's the way you're desiring to be done. And you're essentially like minimizing the stress for yourself at this time, because you do have many things that you're working with and you're processing and going through. So you're just prioritizing your needs and your health and well-being here. We also have you coming more into alignment with yourself as well. So this may be a part of that process where you're like, look, I got to let the little tiny things go and just really focus on the bare minimum to allow myself to continue healing or to stay healed and whole and complete here. We also have the Four of Swords here. All right, interesting. So I feel like you are, this is more of just sort of that release here and allowing yourself to stay in a higher state of being and raise your frequency or keep your frequency high here. That's really what I'm seeing as a focus for you this week. Interesting. So we have you saving money, teaching. Let me do this like that. And what else? We have unexpected good luck. Wonderful, wonderful. So I'm going to get a couple oracles here. So keep hustling and don't give up. And then we also have sacrifices need to be made. Okay. So you do have some unexpected good luck coming your way, and you are really at that point where you're like, look, let's just figure out what needs done and everybody do that, and then you can go home and just relax and replenish yourself here. But you may find that there, and we'll look at the struggles here next, but I'm feeling like there is sort of like this struggle here because things can be more efficient if they do your idea, Virgo. But doing it the other way just seems like very haphazardly, unorganized, and is prohibiting others and everyone from making progress here. So you're going to need to find a particular balance here as it relates to that, in order to keep your frequency high and in order for you to continue to be able to do what your assignments are or what your responsibility is. Let's see. The sacrifices. Okay, so we have the Spirit of Cups here with opportunities. Okay. So I feel like there is a really strong message here about you keeping focused and showing others the example of you being organized, you know, summarizing the communications in that particular example we talked about a little earlier, and, you know, maybe just sharing it out or just talking to your colleagues or teammates and like, yeah, you know, well, this is what I got from that, you know, just trying to create a cohesive, harmonious working environment, even though I know that's difficult when you do have a lot of just lower vibrational shit going on basically, but you are doing your best to stay above that and to help others and also show others, you know, what you've done, how you've summarized things, how you got extracted out the information that you needed to be successful and to continue to do your work. You know, everyone is looking at you as the example because you are being the leader that you are, and they're taking notes from that and they're inspired by what you are doing. And how you are kind of keeping things pulled together here in spite of the obstacles and challenges in your environment here. So we have the 10 of Wands here. Interesting. Okay, so it's going to be really important for you to stay positive and to stay focused on your goals here, because it's going to be easy. It's going to be very easy to slip back into a comfort zone or into that place where, you know, you are, you know, with every particular thing that comes up, needing to address that and talk through it. Some things in your working environment, and you can apply this to however, but this is really, we're focused more on career and work environment at this time, but you're going to find that it's going to be easier for you to get along and to do your work by just minimizing a little bit of the critiquing that's happening here, because you know the shit's fucked up, right? You know that, like, okay, this is just not a good way to organize these things or to do this, but you know, you may have to find a way to persevere and to work through it. And again, as you do that, others are going to be inspired. You're showing others how to work in that type of environment and still be successful here. Okay. All right, so let's look at underlying here. Wonderful. All right, so this is very interesting here because we just said that, you know, it's going to be so important for you to hold back from the critique or to hold back from like, hey, everybody, this is crazy here, what's happening. It's going to be really hard for you to hold back and do that. And I'm by no means saying like don't speak up. I'm just saying that do that in a way that is not creating a more difficult, challenging environment to be in. So you may find that you just, like I said in the example of, you know, if there's just a lot of misinformation or wrong communication set out, like if you create a spreadsheet with just the notes and you make that available to everyone, or you just show everyone like this is how I did it, or you know, you're going to find like those little ways that you can still show that like, yeah, the community so messed up that I had to go back through and reorganize things and set up my own way to, you know, document things and remember things. Like you're going to show through your examples, through the inspired action that you take, that, you know, the communications need to be better, or they need to be more organized, or you need to proofread, or whatever the, you know, things are here. You're going to show that, and that's a part of your transformation for this journey here. You taking a more enlightened approach, and you know, not that speaking up isn't enlightened, but you showing the way, you doing it in a way that you maybe have never done before, or maybe that you are saying like, okay, I'm not gonna exactly say what I want to say here. I'm just going to be the change and do it in a different way, and let them kind of see on the back end, hey, Virgo's the one that organized things in this manner. Okay, so I explained that a lot, but hopefully you kind of get what I'm saying here as far as like you're doing things in a different way. It's still you. You're still being you, but you're just doing it in a different way that allows for everyone to see the changes and be inspired by it. So let's see. We have the 9 of Wands under your beliefs or goals, and you may feel like at times it's very difficult to make progress and to move forward and to keep things sane in the environment and keep things flowing smoothly in the environment. So I'm really sensing very strongly that the way the organization does things is very like convoluted and just all unorganized, disorganized, whatever. And again, you can apply that in any way you want to. There's just some way that things are being done that just are not making any sense, and it's just causing a lot of stress and strain and confusion and just low morale for everyone that's involved and has to take part in it, and has to be successful with their duties and responsibilities here. Okay, so you keep communicating, you keep doing it in a nice way or a positive way, or you may be telling it like it is, but that is what you're being guided here to really focus on, how you're showing through your examples the right way or the more constructive way to do things. Let's look at your approach here. Wonderful. All right. Awesome. Because I'm explaining this. I keep explaining it. So I don't know if Virgo's with me or not, but you are. So thank you so much. I feel like you hear exactly what I'm saying here, because we're looking at your approach. And I do feel like you are going to take a balanced approach to things. And you are going to say, like, look, this is stressing me out, so I'm just going to do it this way. And, it's still within the requirements. You're not, stepping out of line or anything, but you're just doing it in a way that makes more sense for everybody. So you are going to take that approach here. And we also have the 10 of Cups coming out in your environment. So this is what is going to happen. Everyone is going to see like, hey, Virgo did it this way and it was much faster and everything, actually worked out better than expected. And it was very easy to read and understand and follow and just everything. You are going to see those accolades come in. And like I said, through your work, you're going to inspire others. So that is wonderful. Let's see. All right, so just pay attention to when you're feeling frustrated, when that conflict does arise. If anyone's giving you resistance, when you just know that there's a better way, if you're able to just do it your way, or to show again that example of this is how it can be done, do what you can do that's going to keep you in line with the process, so that you're not singled out and treated a different way or disciplined in any way for just trying to make things better here, essentially. So this is about really paying attention to your responses and taking a deep breath before you respond, and figuring out a constructive way to communicate challenges and obstacles and issues in your working environment here. So you will find that way, but just know that you may have to do that here. All right, and then we have the Chariot. Okay, wonderful. So I feel like for some of you, you are going to receive an employment offer or an offer to lead in some way. So lead a project or be the team leader, or be the manager, or just some executive level position here. So we do have like the opportunity, I feel like, is coming through to you. And I'm kind of tying that into what we saw earlier here about a new opportunity coming towards you. But I also feel like you, as a part of this, when allowing yourself to be divinely guided and allowing those blessings to come through to you and connect with you, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see new ideas. You're going to see new opportunities come your way. And that is what you're being asked to do, is just allow them to come to you and allow yourself to be divinely guided here. So there's also some things that are particularly happening with like your assignments and, when you're deciding on, okay, am I going to get a second job, or I'm looking for another source of income, or I want to, expand my services for my business. So just however you're applying this, allow yourself to connect with your intuition and experiment and explore those different ideas and options and how they make you feel and what you feel is going to make you feel fulfilled here, as you are executing any decisions that you're deciding here. But the main message is to connect with your intuition and allow that to guide you as well. So we do have the Emperor here. So we do have you stepping into a space where you are going to feel more passionate, and you are definitely going to be a leader as you know, we're looking at outcomes here. So we do see you coming in very strongly as a leader and well respected, and someone, like we said earlier, like with you showing these examples, like, okay, this is how you keep things organized. This is how you get things done here. You know, that is going to pay off for you a major way. So I'm hearing for some of you, you may find that you're just like, you know what, this is so convoluted, so messed up, I'm not even dealing with it. That idea, that process may end up being a little more detrimental than helpful. So when you are ready, and that's why it's so important, we also talked about getting those self-care practices in so that you do have that courage and strength, and you can put that commitment towards accomplishing your goals and getting your work assignments done here. So stay focused, stay positive, and find your balance here. All right, and then we have the Eight of Cups here. Okay, interesting. So I am going to take that in reverse here. So I do see you putting in that effort here, and that's just this confirmation here. I feel like that's coming out. So instead of sort of walking away, you are going to sort of ground yourself and, okay, what do we have to do here? How are we going to get this done? I do see you sort of taking on that energy, and again, that's why I said I'm seeing that leader come out of you, that leadership energy. Wonderful. And we also have new beginnings, step forward, and expansion. So wonderful. So this is really confirmation of that. So you may find yourself as, you know, the person of authority in that position here, or at least having that type of opportunity come your way, even if it's just to head up a particular project or a particular assignment. I also see as it relates to self-employment as well. So you might be finally deciding to pull the trigger on, you know, that business venture that you were thinking about. But we do have new beginnings coming in for you, so that is awesome. And we also have soulmating. Wonderful. And I feel like there's a strong indication. So two things here. One is connect with your partner and talk things through with your partner. So if you do have a relationship, I feel like talking through things with your partner is going to be beneficial to you. So they may have some good ideas for you that you may want to incorporate into your process here. But there's also soul family, of course, that is available to you. And you know, those individuals may have some knowledge and wisdom for you as well. So just ideas that you can consider. You're going to want to run that through your heart space, run that through your crown chakra, and consider it from different perspectives and how it makes you feel, and then decide what your next steps are. All right, Virgo, that is what I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great week.